Hey there, welcome in. My name's Josh, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between the internet and the industry, and the fact that the internet doesn't care about concept art. So what do I mean by that? Well, basically, the requirements to make it into the industry and the requirements to make it big on the internet, they're like pretty much opposites. Like, they're not the same at all. Literally, the only thing that they have in common is that they both require you to be good artistically. But that's it. That's like where the commonality ends. The internet cares about three things. You ready? The internet cares about characters, which is mainly just anime girls. They care about fun, entertainment, and then they care about porn. So unless you do one of those three things, you're not going to be able to make it on the internet. The industry, on the other hand, requires something else. The industry requires you to be able to design and have iterative ideas, meaning the industry cares about you being able to make many things very quickly, which means they require you to have the ability to sketch, and they require you to have the ability to think creatively, and the ability to render is important, but primarily they're concerned with design. And the internet doesn't give a rip about design and concepts. They only care about seeing cool things. So when you say concept art, now we're drawing that line between concept art and illustration. The internet cares about illustration, right? The internet cares about entertainment and characters, right? So if you have a sexy character, internet's gonna love it. If you have a concept art about a tank, you're gonna get like 5 likes. So with that being said, you have to realize, what do you want to do? Like, what is your goal and what is your dream? And is being big on the internet or is being in the industry going to help you? Chances are they're both going to help you, but you have to figure out which one you want more. So just as an example, right? The biggest art channel on YouTube, Draw with Jazza, 2 million subscribers. Like, look, like, he teaches art, sure, a little bit, kind of, not really, I guess. He's mainly just fun to watch and interact with. He's a personality, he's a celebrity, he's a cool guy. Who wouldn't want to hang out with him? Same with Ross. Look, Ross says he wants to teach people, but he doesn't really teach people. Most of his stuff is entertaining. Like, he has a Patreon if you really want to learn. Like, good luck actually trying to learn something tangible from Ross's YouTube videos, like just the YouTube videos. No shade on Ross, I get that, that's how he structured it. It makes sense because most of the meat is in the Patreon, and in fact, you'll find this trend among most YouTube artists where they only give you a speed paint or a quick little thing on YouTube because YouTube doesn't really pay the bills, and if they really want to make money, they have to put the bulk of their meat, of their tutorials and their resources on Patreon. So no shade on Ross. Again, I love his format of what he's doing. I did the same thing. I did speed paints before I took them down. I'm sure I'm gonna have speed paints up on this channel now by the time you're watching this in the future. So like, speed paints on YouTube are a thing, but again, YouTube is mainly designed to entertain, which is why most of the actual meat and the actual content of things where you're learning is going to be on Gumroad or it's going to be on Patreon. So even Ross, who's going to hit 1 million here in a little bit, like, he's mostly entertainment based. But then take a look at people who are in the industry. Look at these accounts, like, they're pretty small. Granted, there's a difference because they're in the industry and most of their time is spent actually working on client work and making games and doing things, so they don't have a lot of time to upload and manage a YouTube channel. I get that. But then even take people who were in the industry and now aren't, like Trent or Keenan Lafferty. Like, they're only at 100, like, oh my gosh, 100,000. It's like, yeah, I guess that's kind of a lot, but compare them to Ross and Jazza. So don't get discouraged if your landscape paintings or your photorealism or your anything that's not those three things, your fun, characters, or porn. If you don't do any of those three, you're not gonna get a lot of traction on the internet, and that's okay. Honestly, it's okay. So going back to what I said before, figure out if the internet or the industry is going to help you achieve your dreams, right? So me, what are my dreams? I want to make an anime. Well, based off what we just talked about, the internet is a great place to start to try to make an anime, especially since, anime is in Japan. I'm not currently in Japan, and the internet is my only real connection to Japan in the first place, so it would be advantageous to me to be able to have an audience and a market and a brand primarily on the internet, so that when I make a light novel, when I make a manga, you'll actually be able to have an audience who cares about your aesthetic. The industry doesn't give a rip that I want to make anime. They don't care at all. So like, the industry isn't really going to help me make an anime very much. So once I decided that for myself, it's like, all right, well, I need to make it on the internet. Well, what do? I thought primarily I could teach art, and that my reputation and my growth as a YouTube channel and as somebody on the internet would be primarily reflected on my ability to create art. And that's not true at all. Like, literally, people only subscribe to me and they liked me primarily for my personality and my passion and my energy and the things coming out of my mouth second. Granted, I'm not spewing nonsense. I actually am saying things with substance and that makes sense. Like, the content, the level and the quality of content is the same. Remember, that's the commonality between the industry and the internet. You both have to have excellence. You have to be good at what you're doing. But it's mostly personality based. Like, just look at Logan Paul. Like, look at all of his celebrity, like, So all that to say, if you're not getting a lot of traction on your Instagram account, on your ArtStation, or if you have a YouTube on your YouTube, you know, don't beat yourself up about it. If you're trying to get into the industry, the internet really isn't going to welcome you. The internet wants to be entertained more than they want to learn, especially on YouTube. So cut yourself some slack, it's fine, it's okay, don't worry about it. Once you get in the industry, you're not really gonna have time to maintain a YouTube channel or a huge social media presence anyway, because you're gonna be so busy having the time of your life making amazing, amazing content. And then for those of you trying to make it on the internet, realize that your personality and who you are as a person is a key ingredient to your success. You can be really, 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 really good and make really, really good stuff, and that's only part of it. That'll only get you so far. If you wanna be like Jazza, if you wanna be like Ross, if you wanna be like, you know, PewDiePie, if you wanna be like anybody with millions of subscribers, it's you. Like, that's the whole you too. You're basically becoming a celebrity. So what you are and the content you create should be level, so to speak, and the other can carry the other only so far. Like, if you're a really, really great personality, but your art's only down here, you're only gonna get so far. Same way, if your art's up here, but your personality's down here, it's only gonna get you so far. It's the people who can marry the two of them together, like Jazza, like the guy's amazing, and he's really cool, like, so it's no wonder he's there. Same with Ross, he's gonna pass 1 million, like, anytime now. What, we're in November? I bet you Ross, calling it out, I bet you Ross is gonna be in the millions before 2019 is up. Easily, easy, that's a really easy projection. So again, industry is design and iteration and the ability to think creatively and bring things to a polish eventually. That's concept art. Illustration is like actually bringing it to a polish. And then the internet is just fun and characters and porn. So cut yourself some slack. Don't beat yourself up if you're not getting a bunch of likes on the internet. The internet does not care about your iterative design ideas for concept art. But that's okay. The industry does. Do that enough, do a good enough job, and you'll get a job, and you won't really have time to worry about the internet because you'll be having so much fun over there. All right? Thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff you do on YouTube anyway. And I have an Instagram, you can follow me over there. And I will see all of you next week.